This ain't nothing but healthy conversation. That's
Yeah,
all.
you got to tell hold the pop down.
Man, ain't nobody exempt in the barbershop. You know that. Ain't nobody exempt. You can talk about whoever and whatever, whenever you want to in the barbershop.
Why you got to tell hold down like this, Eddie? You know you're wrong. Keep on walking. You wrong. You walking back except this time, pal. I ain't with you. I'll tell you one thing. You better never let Jesse Jackson hear you talking about later.
Man, fuck Jesse Jackson.
On that other hand, symbolizing power and responsibility.
Born in 1941 in South Carolina, Jackson grew up under Jim Crow laws. By the time he'd graduated from college, he was involved in the civil rights movement. In 1965, he joined Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Inner Circle, taking on a leadership role. He was with Dr. King in Memphis when he was assassinated a few years later.
High school graduation.
Ordained as a minister, Jackson began Operation Push in Chicago in 1971 and created his political pulpit, pressuring companies to hire more black workers and extend business ties with the African American.
All right. Hey, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Real quick. Hey, double honors to the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, on whom I learn from daily. All right. Again, this is just going to be real quick. You know, I just came across this, and how you saw it. Reverend Jesse Jackson, right? You know, he's in the spirit world, and I was getting ready to say Salakia. I was getting ready to say he knows he's an Israelite now, but he knew before. All right, and hey, whatever. Yeah, we get on everybody. All right, no mention of. That's a whole nother lesson. I'll leave that where it's at. But yeah, we get on everybody. We get on even ourselves. Scripture said even examine yourself. So honestly, Jesse, Reverend, ordained, as it said, right? Ordained Reverend Jesse Jackson was nothing more than a pawn to these damn devils, man. That's all he was. Same thing with Dr. Martin Lucifer, Reverend King, right? They all got a Reverend Jesse Jackson. Matter of fact, let's read this first. Because it's Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai who ordains you, not some other nation, all right? Not some organization, not some scholarly body. You get it? All right? This is John 15 and verse 16. This is red letters right here. All right? Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. And that's what Christians say all the time. Well, I chose Jesus. Now, I decided to give my life over to Jesus. No, you didn't decide nothing. The scripture said, man's ways is of the Lord. How can a man didn't understand his own way? Matter of fact, there's a multitude of scriptures going into that. When man sleep, he gives the instruction. We can't do nothing, but for the truth, right? Right? Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that ye should go and bring forth fruit. That's another thing. Where did you see these so-called ordained pastors, preachers, or teachers, or whatever they call them? You can clearly see it's just basically controlled opposition, right? He helped further our affliction, to be honest, and I can prove that in the scripture, and I will. But where do you see them teaching anything? They got all these 501c3 organizations. They down with the money. Even in that little clip, it said, talking about his political ministry. What the hell is that? What's a political ministry? That's almost like an oxymoron. Okay? Salakia. Anyhow, you have, let's read it again. Excuse me, damn, I got choked up. Call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Ye have not chosen me, but I have chosen you, and ordained you that ye should bring forth fruit, and that your fruit shall remain. Which that whatsoever ye ask of the Father, that's Yahweh, in my name, he may give it you, right? He in his what? In his name. And call halal Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. I just did a lesson earlier, and you heard the voice of my daughter. What a beautiful soul she is. The water to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for my seed. I would. I might as well just go ahead and say it. it's very interesting. This word is really getting out there. Okay, she met a boy. This is going to happen. We understand the scriptures. Us men, we get it. We understand the scriptures. Your daughter, your son. Your daughter belongs to you. She's basically your property, just like your wife. Okay, you're not in a tyrannical sense. Which I've been down that route before. I ain't gonna lie about nothing. Yeah, I've been down that route before. Didn't go too well. I didn't do my due diligence, but whatever. Anyway, she met a boy at school. Okay, I just want to give you this quick story. She just told me this, and she said, "Dad, well, he had what she used the word religion, which she corrected it, but she said, Dad, he's got the same religion as us." I said, "Huh?" Because that's few and far between, especially in places, old podunk piece of shit town, country ass places like this. That's few and far between. All right. So she said he's so-called Native American and he's so-called black, right? But they got to talking or whatever. My daughter's pretty, so he wanted to talk to her. Normal teenage stuff. It's supposed to happen, right? And to water to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, right? But anyhow, I'm going into oh, Salaki. I'm just, as the country folks say, I'm tickled pink, man. I ain't gonna lie about it, But anyhow, what came out of his mouth before she didn't say nothing, right? Nothing about this. But what came out of his mouth going into the names, he said, "Yeah, he said God's name is Yahweh." He said this to her, okay? And then she said, "Yeah," and the son's name is Yahweh Shai, and he said, "Yes." So, hey, I'll just leave it there. That's that. But as a father, any of you brothers that are fathers, you gotta, especially of a daughter, you gotta understand that's rather exciting. That's a good thing. It's a real good thing. So, at the water to you, how about Shem Yahushua? Anyway, back to this false, weak ass prophet. I was going into this. Let's go here. Oh yeah, I typed this in. Ordained minister definition. See, now I got to redo the damn thing. Hold on. I wanted to get to this summary. You know what? I might as well go. Let's go to Crunk. I call it Crunk. You see. All right, let's go back. Let me see if I can get it this time. If it don't work this time, I'll just move on. There we go. Okay. All right. That's ain't nothing but Satan. You know what it is. Esau Edom. All right. An ordained minister is an individual recognized by religious organization or having the authority to perform spiritual duties and ceremonies. So there you have it. All right. As the scripture said, there shall arise many false prophets. The dude was a false prophet, man. As a matter of fact, I was going into it just a minute ago. Let's see. Let's see. All right. Yeah, it said that he's a reverend, right? Jesse Jackson was Martin Lucifer King's Jr.'s during Memphis assassination. You never know. He might have been, he might have been involved in it. You know how it goes with Baal and that whole crew, that motley crew, right? So let's go here. Reverend Martin Luther King teachings. I just fancy me for a moment. I wanted to make this quick, but it is what it is. Taking inspiration from MLK Jr.'s motivation with church Southern. Was he ever in the church? Did he ever teach anything? And look at him, man. He looked like a Mo. I mean, he just does. Screw it, man. You can't make it up. He looks like a Mo, man. And we all know, you know, they got the FBI files on his ass too. You know, he's probably on J.E. Island before J.E. Island existed. All right, before I was a civil rights leader, I was a preacher of the gospel. Where? I ain't never seen it. All right, this was my first calling, and it still remains my greatest commitment. Okay, yeah, sure. Bullshit. All right, Christianity, bull, right? What was another one I brought up? Reverend Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton. Okay. Reverend Al Sharpton. Sharpton. I don't know how you spell his damn name. There he is right there. AI Sharpton speak. AI is crazy, man. Hey, and the prophets and the brothers been telling you, man, they're gonna start putting words in our mouth and doing all kinds of crazy shit. Just like this right here. I'm intrigued. Let's see what it is. AI Sharpton speaks out after passing a of a what is that? Monter Reverend Jesse Jackson full video. Okay, what? Yeah, I don't that's not edifying. That's not going into anything. I don't want no AI shit. Salakia. I don't want that. What is this AI? What is this? Reverend? Maybe that's just the way he spells his name. Reverend Al. Yeah, Al Sharpton. Anyway, you're not going to find it. He ain't taught no damn where. Let's see. Let's go here. What was the other one I mentioned? Reverend. Check this out. This nigga, man. And he a mo too. Yeah, he a mo, man. All right. I just wanted to show you this. Salakia, I'm going way off course here. Way off course. Jesse Lee Patterson, born May 22nd. And this nigga was a TV host, man. He is somehow here a reverend. He amazing. If you ever seen, you know what I'm talking about. All right, he's an American conservative talk show host. He's a talk show host. But he claims to be a reverend too. You know, this guy, man, dude's a weirdo, straight up. He's a weirdo. Okay, let's go here. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, 28th chapter. All right? Because I briefly said it, see, Deuteronomy. 28th chapter. Let's go in the King James Version. All right? All right, Deuteronomy 28. Let me go to the Bible app that I like to use. Here we go. All right, let's see here. Let's do it like this. Not a bad word, but a byword. All right, let's read this. All right, and I'm gonna bring this out right here because Reverend Al, not Al Sharpton, damn Jesse Jackson, right? He helped to further this prophecy. All right, because if you remember that term African American, I believe, you know, hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm gonna look it up, but I believe came from this guy. It came from Jesse Jackson. African American. That's a proverb in the Bible. That's 2 damn continents. Don't make no damn sense. Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. He was a false prophet. Nothing more, man. You know, he bowed the knee to the image of Baal. He took a covenant with the devil. You know, the nigga was a piece of shit, man. It is what it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Deuteronomy 28, verse 37 reads, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. What is that? African American, Negro, black, Mexican, wetback. You know, I mean, I'm using these are derogatory terms in the world, and I hope it don't do nothing with the video. But spick, okay? I mean, all these different things, man. Indian, okay? There's so many different proverbs and bywords that they call us, man. All right, and this is prophecy. A proverb and a byword amongst all nations, whether the Lord Yahweh shall lead thee. So wherever Israelites are scattered, they call them by all kinds of different names. Let's go to it. Let's go to it. All right, Jesse Jackson. All right, I could be wrong, but I think I'm correct. Civil rights icon, the Indian Express, ain't that something? Another proverb, another byword. While the term has its roots dating back to the 19th century, interesting. I don't know if this is true or not. It was during a December 1988 news conference that Jackson, alongside of black, another byword, leaders advocated for its adoption. All right, so if he didn't coin it, he damn sure advocated it. All right, so hey, he helped to further the forgetting of the names of Yahweh Shem Yahushua first and foremost, always, right, and the name of Israel being no more in remembrance. Okay, black leaders advocated for this adoption as a more dignified, really, an accurate description for Americans of African descent, and that's another lie. Don't the scripture say he put a difference? Let's go there. I knew this was gonna be longer than what I wanted, but I don't. Who gives a damn what I want? All right. All right. In case you didn't know, those Egyptians, the ones who had our asses, the Israelites in slavery, where 70 souls went in and a multitude came out, was Hamites, Africans, and there it go. Matter of fact, that's basically a byword of Hamites. Exodus 11 verse 7 reads, it's right here. It's got it all pulled up. All right. Exodus, yeah. But against the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against man or beast, that ye may know that the Lord doth put a difference between Egyptians and Israel. And the New Age Egyptians are who? These damn Edomites over here in Babylon, right? You see? So he done put a difference. So let's go back to it and see what this says. All right? See, there I go again. We just had it pulled up. We're not able to refresh your page and refresh this, biatch. Come on. Come on. Oh, come on now. Really, seriously. All right, I'm going to have to go to it again. There it go. It could be my phone or whatever. It don't matter. All right, for African Americans, African descent, this shift aimed to reflect heritage and history, which it don't. Okay, everybody. They went. You so-called black people. This is what they tell you. And even they teach this in school. You so-called black people, in 1400 or whatever time, you came over in ships, and that's where you began. And that's it. Case closed. That's it. And then everybody was happy, and they had hamburgers, pizza, and pancakes. End of story. Have a good night. Huh. All right. The shift aimed to reflect heritage and history more appropriately than the term black. And we've all looked that word up, black. It's all kinds of negative. It's derogatory. Hell, it's worse than African Americans. Worse. I don't know. It's all bad. They are proverbs and bywords. Who am I to say which one is worse? It's all equally sinful and and awful under the eyes of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? So, let's see what else I want to get. Psalms. Psalms, the 83rd chapter. Yeah, because he sort of helped, and again, he never taught nobody nothing. Psalms 83, we'll go into it. This also proves that all the rest of the nations were involved in our downfall, and therefore the nations are mad at Babylon because, hey, and they asses are going into slavery too. It is what it is. Psalms 83 verse 2 reads, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And how was another way they hit us? By them proverbs and bywords. Everybody else, here it is. Here it is. Everybody else get to call themselves, which is off, but they get to call themselves Chinese, Japanese, I mean, if you say American, British, or you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm going in. All right, Salakia. My damn phone ran out of memory or whatever. All right. Yeah, that's just that's just a sign of a bunch of videos, and that's a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But here it is, all these other nations get to call themselves, and we don't want to call ourselves, no American or none of that shit, man. We Hebrew Israelites, and the scriptures say it. All right, all this can be proven. All of it has been proven ad nauseum. If you don't believe it, so what? Okay, that's who we are. We are Hebrew Israelites from your prospective tribe, from one of the 12 tribes of Israel. All right, a good position to be in. Straight up. Anyhow, I'll leave it there. No, there's a little bit more. There goes Jesse Jackson. He gone. Let's see. They have said, "Come, let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." Proverbs by words. "For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee." And then it goes on to tell you, excuse me, give you the nationalities, all the rest of these people that was complacent and helped Esau Edom with his endeavors. And that's that. All right. Much love to each and every one of you, family. All right. Jesse Jackson was a false prophet. Shalom.